Alcatraz Island, also known as The Rock, was once the most notorious and feared prison in America. Located in the middle of the San Francisco Bay, it housed some of the country's most dangerous criminals, including Al Capone and Robert Stroud. The prison was designed to be escape-proof, with high walls, barbed wire guard towers, and a treacherous surrounding water. The inmates were subjected to harsh conditions, strict rules, and brutal punishments. Many of them dreamed of freedom, but few dared to attempt it. Between 1934 and 1963, the island was used as a federal prison. During that time, there were 14 escape attempts involving 36 inmates. Most of them were either caught, killed, or drowned. Only 3 men managed to escape from Alcatraz and disappear without a trace. Their fate remains a mystery to this day. This is the story of the Great Alcatraz Jailbreak, the most daring and ingenious escape in history. The mastermind behind the escape was Frank Morris, a smart and charismatic inmate who had a history of breaking out of prisons. He arrived at Alcatraz in 1960 and soon began to plan his escape. He recruited 3 accomplices: John and Clarence Anglin, brothers who had robbed banks together, and Alan West, a car thief who had access to useful materials. The 4 men spent months preparing for their escape. They used spoons, drills, and saw blades to dig holes in the walls of their cells, which were located near each other. They concealed the holes with cardboard and paint and made fake vent covers to hide their work. They also made dummy heads out of plaster, paper, and human hair, which they placed on their beds to fool the guards during the night counts. They also made a raft and life vests out of raincoats, glue, and rubber cement, which they stole from the prison workshop. They inflated the raft with a concertina, a musical instrument that Morris had borrowed from another inmate. They hid the raft and the vests in a secret spot on the roof of the cell block, which they accessed through the vents. On the night of June 11, 1962, the 4 men were ready to make their move. They squeezed through the holes in their cells, climbed up the vents, and reached the roof. They then slid down a pipe to the ground and ran to the water's edge. There, they inflated the raft and the vests and got ready to paddle across the bay. However, West was unable to join them. He had made his hole too small, and he was stuck in his cell. He decided to abort the escape and hoped that the others would make it. Morris and the Anglins launched the raft into the water and disappeared into the darkness. They were never seen again. The next morning, the guards discovered the escape. They found the dummy heads, the holes, and the raft on a nearby island. They launched a massive manhunt involving boats, helicopters, dogs, and divers. They searched the bay, the shore, and the city, but they found no trace of the escapees. The official report concluded that the men had drowned in the cold and choppy water and that their bodies had been swept away by the currents. However, there was no conclusive evidence to support this theory. No bodies, clothes, or personal belongings were ever recovered. Some people believed that the men had survived and that they had reached the mainland or another country. There were rumors and sightings of them in various places, such as Brazil, Mexico, and Florida. There were also letters and photos that claimed to be from them, but none of them were verified. The case remains unsolved and the mystery endures. Did the men make it to freedom or did they perish in the bay? What happened to them after they left Alcatraz? Where are they now if they are still alive? These are the questions that haunt the Great Alcatraz Jailbreak, the most daring and ingenious escape in history.